Hello and welcome. My name is Chris Shelton from sunny San Jose, California. Actually, it's really sunny today, but at least we're not freezing like they are back east and in the Midwest. For negative 43 degrees, not so cool. Awfully cold, not so cool. Anyways, today what we're talking about is a commonly asked question that so many people call and ask us about is, what is the difference between Qigong and Tai Chi? Well, you know what? I honestly don't know. No, just kidding. No, the reality is that there is a subtle difference between Qigong and Tai Chi, and it all depends on what it is that you're looking for. Now, Qigong is actually the foundation of Chinese medicine and Tai Chi. And a lot of people don't really realize that, but it's, thousands of years ago when the people had less of this undisturbed mind minus the ego. They were so in tune with nature and their interconnectedness with nature that they're able to sense imbalances and these acupuncture meridians inside their bodies or whatnot. And so when people call the studio, they say, Chris, what should I be doing? Should I be doing Tai Chi or Qigong? Well, it depends on your health and where you're at with your health and what is it that you're looking for. If you want something that is going to transform your life quickly, then I would recommend Qigong. And the reason for that is because Qigong is so simple. And when they have a saying in Chinese philosophy that the simplicity is what makes it so profound. If you're looking for something more physical, then I would recommend Tai Chi. Now, the style of Tai Chi that we teach is from the Chen family system. In Chen family Tai Chi Chuan is the oldest system of Tai Chi. There's still a Chen village actually in China where they train the Tai Chi like a full-time job. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Tai Chi is actually a martial art. And what's funny is that so many people say to me, because I used to compete with Tai Chi as a martial art, people would say to me, Chris, how do you fight with Tai Chi? Do you say, tag, you're it? And the reality is no. Those slow, simple movements are all fighting applications. But what it does is that it teaches you how to listen to your body. What I mean by that is when you hold tension in your body, you'll be able to sense it the more you practice the Tai Chi. For example, if I'm doing a move like single whip and my elbow is up like this, so look what happens. As soon as I bring my elbow up like that, now what's happened is I've actually locked the energy in my shoulder. So then that actually creates a deficiency or a weakness. But if I learn to relax and drop the elbow, now I'm actually in a much more solid, I'm much stronger in this position, and now the energy flows unimpeded. Okay, so Tai Chi teaches us how to listen to our body. The other thing about Tai Chi too is that Tai Chi is really a whole body experience. So when I'm doing my Tai Chi, a lot of times people will say, wow, how beautiful is that? But is it just your arms that are moving? And the reality is that no, it's not just my arms. If you pay attention here, look at my legs. My legs are pumping the blood up to the chest, which then allows for me to move my upper body. So everything moves together, and that's the hard thing about Tai Chi, just like this posture right here. So many different components that are going on at once. So when you hear about the health benefits of Tai Chi, the reason for that, number one, is because of all this fluxing or waxing and waning of the weight between the left and the right legs. This actually helps to pump the blood up to the chest. The second thing is that it really helps with gentle flexibility, and it helps to increase gently helps to increase your strength in your legs. The more you practice Tai Chi, the more flexible you become, the much more balance that you gain, and you start to gain a lot more strength as well too. And because it's Chen style Tai Chi, I've seen people actually lose weight from practicing Chen style Tai Chi, because any practitioner you see practicing this, 9 times out of 10, you see that they are, they'll be sweating by the time they finish their form. So anyways, the other component of the Tai Chi is then the mindfulness part, which is then to be able to remember the postures. Now, the challenging thing, and this is why I say to people, well, if you want to learn a system that's going to help improve your health quickly, then you do the Qigong, because like in the Chen system, in the traditional form, the Laojia form, which means the old frame form, or form number 1, there's 75 postures. And that 75 postures, it takes students at least about 6 months. If they're coming to class once a week and they're practicing on their own, at least 6 months to get that form. And what I mean by that is at least memorizing the form, okay? Because that's the thing, is that there's a sequence of movements that happen, and there's a whole flow that happens And then that's where the challenge becomes, because a lot of people say to me, oh, Chris, Tai Chi is just what old people do in the park. And I laugh because it's really not the truth. Tai Chi is actually much more difficult than what it appears. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I used to teach Tai Chi all over the San Francisco Bay Area. And when I get a call to sub for a class somewhere, and they said to cover the Tai Chi class, 9 times out of 10, when I would go to teach the class, I was actually teaching a Qigong class and not a true Tai Chi class. So it's Tai Chi, because most people know what Tai Chi is as opposed to Qigong, and also, honestly speaking, Tai Chi sells more. But the health benefits do come about, and I have students that come that are just brand new learning the form, and they like the physical component. They like how they feel. They like that they're sweating and perspiring by the end of practicing their Tai Chi. They like the fact that they're able to focus on what the movement is, because Tai Chi is a mindful movement. There's so many different forms of exercise out there that's mindless, meaning you could focus on something else other than your own body. For example, you get on an elliptical or a treadmill, and you could read a book, you could watch sports on TV, you could do whatever, and not be mindful to the practice or to the exercise routine that you're doing. Tai Chi, on the other hand, though, in order for you to memorize the different postures, you have to be able to be focused in the now, in the present, in order to be able to remember the sequence of the postures, number one, and then also the 3 regulations of Tai Chi and Qigong, which is physical posture, breath, and then mind intent. So just to wrap up, the Tai Chi is a martial art by its origin. We teach it at Morning Crane because for the health benefits. I used to compete with it in tournaments. I've been in Inside Kung Fu magazine a couple of times. I was ranked 10th in the U.S. at one point. And the reason for me competing with it is because there were so many teachers I saw back in the day that were saying that they were teaching Tai Chi, but we're talking just from theory, from what a book said, or from what their sifu or from what their teacher said. For myself, anything I do, anything that I'm teaching, anything that I'm putting out here on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever, I want it to be as legitimate as possible. So for me, the competing part of it was more about knowing for myself what was really going on, because for anybody who's ever competed before or any type of fight, everything happens really quick. So once again, so the slow movements teaches you how to listen to your body, so then that way you could then listen to your opponent. And what I mean by that is, as soon as you touch your opponent, you could actually feel where he or she is holding tension inside their body, and then when the ref blows a whistle, then you go after that area and throw them off the lei tai. But again, the mindfulness part, the health part, comes about because of the relaxation, because of the breath control. And actually, I believe it was about 9 or 10 years ago, Stanford actually did a study for people with certain types of heart conditions, where they'd actually go to Stanford here in Palo Alto, and they attach straps to the legs. And these straps on both legs would squeeze from the shin and calf up the thigh, up to the waist, and what it was doing was it squeezing, pumping blood, forcing blood up to the chest, up to the heart. And then what would happen is these straps would actually release, and then the blood flow would flow back down, and then they compress again. And there was this whole sequence that was happening to help to move the blood up to the heart, up to the chest. And actually, Stanford, this is actually even before they started their mindfulness wellness program, they realized that the practice of Tai Chi, from this waxing and waning, from the shifting and folding, the weight back and forth, actually did the same thing. Now, when we start talking about Qigong, so Qi, what is Qigong? Qi is the life force energy that emanates through all living things. Gong is a skill in order to use your mind intent, in order to harness this life force energy, and in this case, to be able to circulate it throughout the body, throughout the organ system network and the acupuncture meridians and channels, in order to improve your health and your well-being. And what I love so much about Qigong is that anybody could do it. It does not discriminate against your age, your weight, your ethnic background, gender, your spiritual belief structure. No discrimination. What's great is that I have paraplegics that come and take the class. My wife and I, Parisa Shelton, were clinical directors for all of California for the Special Olympics for a new program called Healthy Athletes, Strong Minds, where We actually go and we teach these practices at the games, at the special games, to the athletes, coaches, and their families to be able to deal with emotional stress and trauma. Now, we're not just talking about the anxiety of competition, which Qigong really helps with, but what we're talking about is that what do you do if somebody's bullying you? What do you do if you get into an argument with somebody that has intellectual disabilities? What do you do with that energy? So what we're doing is that we're giving these tools to empower people to be able to take care of their mental emotional awareness. Now, Qigong is great because it doesn't matter if you're doing a meditation or if you're doing a simple movement. Like, this movement helps to benefit the liver. So if you've gone to my YouTube channel and you saw this movement, this is the liver move, helps to benefit the liver and the gallbladder. It doesn't matter if I'm doing a simple movement or if I'm doing a meditation. Everything that I'm teaching is meant to do something medicinally inside the body. No matter how simple it is, relaxation is just the byproduct. And what's really great is that Qigong is not a belief structure, at least the style that I teach anyways. It's not a belief structure. It's not an ism. It's not a pseudoscience practice. It's really a practice that's been around for thousands of years, which is finally, after all these years, starting to gain notice and gain momentum. And the cool thing is, because in Chinese medicine, actually the leading cause of death and disease, besides poor diets and what they're putting in our food, what they're putting like fluoride in our water, stuff like that. The other leading cause of death and disease is, well, lack of exercise too, but is your negative emotions. And it's not that emotions are bad. It's when emotions aren't expressed or suppressed that it creates disease. And believe it or not, the 5 major organs of the body, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the spleen, and the kidneys, are all the 5 organs mainly responsible for sustaining your life. Now, they work with other organs, the other 5 organs or 6 organs, but those 5 organs I listed are really responsible for taking the food, the essence, the air, the water, whatever, and being able to make blood, be able to work with assimilation, digestion, secretion, excretion. But all those 5 organs are actually connected back to or are affected by different negative emotions. For example, like your kidneys are affected by fear and shock. So if you're somebody that has had an abusive relationship, maybe you're a child and you grew up in an abusive home, or you had a severe car accident, or let's say you survived cancer, or let's say you're a vet who just came back from the Middle East, or you're a firefighter or EMT who sees things that people normally don't see, the death, destruction, the despair of humanity, all those kinds of things actually will create disease and weaken your kidneys and your urinary bladder. And your kidneys are the foundation for your overall constitution, your overall body, and how long your life will be. Then we look at your liver. Well, your liver is affected by anger, rage, frustration, resentment. And when anger and frustration, resentment is held on to for a long period of time, it actually could turn into depression. And we see so many diseases that come into the clinical practice, from eye problems, floaters in the eyes, eye twitches, flowery vision, tendon ligament problems, detached retinas, digestive problems, IBS. Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on. For women, menstrual dysfunctions. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and maybe we'll have that on another live event that we do here, talking about all the dysfunctions of the liver. But anyways, yeah, so, and it's not that when we talk about these emotions, it's not that anger is a bad thing. Anger is really, and all these emotions are really good things. They're like a barometer for us. And anger is a great thing if it causes you to stand up and fight for the underdog, to get out from a bad situation, to create positive change in the world, to do something creative. Then that anger is serving you. But if that anger is causing you to drink too much, become depressed, you're suffering from migraines, you're waking up between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning, you're having digestive problems, bloatedness, IBS or whatnot, then guess what? That anger is no longer serving you. Then your heart's affected by overexcitation, lack of joy, loneliness, your lungs affected by grief, sadness, sorrow, and disappointment, and then your spleen and your pancreas, which are harnessed together in Chinese medicine, are actually affected by worry, anxiety, and pensiveness, and over-intellectualizing things. So to wrap up here, the Qigong is something that's so simple to do. And once again, the purpose for the style of Qigong that I teach, which is based upon more of the 5 elements, is to give people tools in order to improve their overall well-being. So when we think about physical health or physical fitness, yeah, physical fitness is great, but what's going on the inside is really, really important. So if you're not taking care of your emotional health, then it's going to eventually show up on your in your physical health. And we see it all the time where we'll have a personal trainer or somebody who's looks physically fit but is dying from carotid artery disease, or suffering from carotid artery disease. And the cool thing about it too is that and I don't talk about this too much in the classes, but when you start to work on refining your essence internally, refining the function of the interconnectedness of these internal organs, then guess what? Regardless of your religious or spiritual belief structure, then you help to develop and grow spiritually. All right. And so the combination between, or the similarities between Tai Chi and Qigong is, number one, physical posture, which is called the Wuji posture. Okay, where we can do it from a seated position. If I'm standing in posture, just very quickly, I'm just going to stand with legs out or feet out, shoulders width apart, toes pointed straight ahead. My knees are slightly bent. I'm going to roll the sacrum underneath, pressing back the Ming Men, which is the acupuncture point between the left and right kidney. I'm going to relax the shoulders, hollow out the armpits, gently tuck the chin, press up at the crown point, and place the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth as if saying the letter N. And this is my wife's favorite one. I'm going to lightly squeeze my anal sphincter muscle and relax the body. Okay, so this is the posture here. And believe it or not, standing in this posture, once you learn how to stand in this posture, you're actually reconnecting to how it was back when you first, as a baby, first learned how to sit up. Because if you look at a baby that first learns how to sit up, they actually sit in Wuji. Their sacrum is tucked underneath. Why? Because the proper alignment of the vertebra and of the sacrum itself helps to balance out that big head they have on their body. So that's number one. Number two is breath. Now, a lot of people, when they breathe, the breath only goes to the chest. The breath should go all the way down to the belly. And going back to a baby will breathe into his or her own stomach. So you'll watch the stomach rise and fall. So the combination or the similarity between Tai Chi and Qigong is that they focus on deep, long, steady, deep breaths into the abdomen. So when you inhale, the breath fills up the abdomen like a balloon, exhaling and contracts, okay? So it's like a balloon. It blows up front, blows up back, it blows up left and right sides. And the third marriage between the two practices is the mind intent. And they say that the imagination leads the mind and the mind leads the smooth flow of the Qi. So for example, when you're practicing your Tai Chi, focusing on guiding the Qi to the fingertips. When you're doing your Qigong, then go ahead and bark like a dog. It makes you feel so much better. But when you're not barking like a dog, you can be out like a cat. So, but from here, doing the mind intent with the movement. So let's say, for example, the liver move, focusing on the anger and the frustration and the resentment and digging up stuff from the past or the present. And then as you exhale, doing the movement, allowing for that to leave like a dark cloud going several feet away from the body. And then the other marriage between the two of them is that it gives you a place to be able to be centered, to be able to calm your mind, to be in the present moment, not be in the past, not be in the future. And they're both really great practices to do. So once again, just to wrap up, when you're looking for something to improve your health and your well-being, really ask yourself what it is that you're looking for. If you want something more physical, definitely, by all means, do the Tai Chi. I love Tai Chi. It's fantastic. There's so many components of it. It's really a lifetime of study. But if you are somebody whose health isn't the greatest and you're trying to build your energy up and you don't have that much energy, then I would recommend doing the Qigong. And especially if you know you're going through physical trauma or mental, emotional trauma, I would definitely recommend the Qigong because it's direct, it's right away, and you'll start to receive and see the benefits within a few weeks. So anyways, just to wrap up here, my name is Chris Shelton with Shelton Qigong in partly cloudy San Jose, California. Until next time, I will Qi you later.